Well, I've said everything I know about conflict of interest. Number one, don't panic. We're going to survive this. And number two, we need to take some of the energy we put into complaining about it to making it better. Talking about innovation, and you brought up pediatric research. I didn't. So in 1970, the cure rate for childhood leukemia was about 35%. In 1990, it was 70%. During that 20-year period, the number of new drugs that entered the field of childhood acute leukemia was 0. What was the innovation? The innovation was learning how to pool data, start to parse it. They began to separate out a low-risk group that was being cured reliably with their therapy, and higher-risk groups that weren't. And they focused on those groups. And then they created an intermediate-risk group that they were curing reliably, and moved on and sliced the disease and made huge progress with no new technology per se, just better application of what they had. Now the cure rates are into the 90s, and they do have new agents and new genetic risk stratifications, et cetera, et cetera. Speaking about oncology, in adult oncology, somewhere around 3 to 4% of adults with cancer go on clinical trials. So we take 96, 97% of the data and throw it away. And that could be used to foster innovation and progress with the agents that we have. I'm not saying we shouldn't develop new agents, but we don't use the agents we have right now optimally because we don't study them enough after the agent gets FDA approval. The IOM has championed this concept called the learning healthcare system. We now, we can argue about whether the Affordable Care Act is a wonderful thing, and the government does good things or bad things in health. But one good thing they did is they got doctors to buy electronic health records. Now, today, close to 90% of oncologists' practices are electronic, and the ability is at hand for us to capture the data, collate it, analyze it, normalize it, understand it, and feed it back in ways that we've never done before. So I think that we are at the cusp, from a big data standpoint, of some very, very interesting innovation.